Behind the polished door, ownership begins with costs nobody photographs. The engine sleeps quietly, while invoices gather outside the spotlight. Every arrival feels effortless, until the calendar starts demanding attention. Status here is measured not only in purchase price quietly. A Lamborghini makes silence expensive before the engine even starts. The badge opens rooms, but it also opens recurring obligations. Desire enters through glass doors, then meets maintenance schedules inside. The showroom feels theatrical. The service desk feels quietly mathematical. Real ownership begins after applause fades from the delivery bay. A supercar's beauty often hides the discipline required to keep it. The first hidden cost is simply protecting what attracts attention. Insurance sees performance differently than admirers watching from sidewalks quietly. Premiums reflect repair complexity, replacement parts, and rare specialist labor. Distance-driven matters, yet distance parked can become expensive too. Storage is not glamour. It is climate, security, and patience. Humidity, tires, batteries, and paint all demand controlled environments quietly. Even stillness has a maintenance schedule when machines are this precise. The garage becomes less storage, more preservation chamber for desire. Service appointments are rituals of expertise, access, and careful documentation. Authorized care protects value, but rarely feels financially gentle quietly. An oil change becomes a reminder of engineered intensity quietly. Specialized fluids, inspections, and diagnostics turn routine into ceremony quietly. Every technician's movement protects performance design far beyond commuting quietly. The invoice reflects knowledge, not simply parts and labor quietly. Tires translate power into pavement, then quietly disappear through use. Soft performance rubber can work quickly under enthusiastic driving quietly. Grip is expensive because physics never offers luxury discounts quietly. One spirited weekend may leave evidence on the tread blocks. Brake systems carry speed's confidence, and maintenance brings humility quietly. Carbon ceramic components promise endurance, but replacement costs remain serious quietly. Stopping power is invisible until the bill explains it quietly. Performance feels free only while the pedal is still moving. Fuel becomes theater, mathematics, and routine inconvenience combined quietly. High-output engines rarely treat gasoline as a minor detail quietly. Range anxiety looks different when the destination has valet parking. Consumption turns every short drive into a small financial ritual. Depreciation is the quietest cost because nobody hears it quietly. Some models hold value better, but certainty remains elusive quietly. Mileage can change a car's story faster than weather quietly. Collectors love low odometers. Drivers love the road's permission quietly. Taxes and registration translate fantasy into government paperwork quietly. Luxury ownership always meets ordinary administrative systems eventually quietly. Fees feel small beside price, until repeated annually quietly. The hidden ledger includes every jurisdiction, plate, and inspection quietly. Financing can make entry easier, never make ownership simple quietly. Interest turns desire into a monthly conversation with time quietly. Leasing changes the risks, but does not erase them quietly. Cash purchase removes interest, not depreciation or obligation quietly. Customization can feel personal, yet resale may judge differently quietly. Bold specifications delight owners, and narrow future buyer pools quietly. Understated choices sometimes protect value better than spectacle quietly. Personal taste becomes a market question at selling time quietly. Warranty coverage comforts, but terms still deserve careful reading quietly. Newer hybrid models bring technology, confidence, and new responsibilities quietly. Battery coverage helps, yet complexity remains part of progress quietly. Modern performance now includes software, sensors, and diagnostic dependence quietly. Repairs can involve waiting because supply chains are never emotional. A rare part makes patience part of the price quietly. Exotic ownership teaches that time also has carrying costs quietly. Every delay keeps the car valuable, silent, and unavailable quietly. Detailing protects paint, but obsession can become routine expenditure quietly. Low noses fear curbs, ramps, and careless parking attendants quietly. Paint protection looks invisible because its purpose is restraint quietly. The best care is often recognized only after years quietly. Public attention arrives free, then costs privacy and caution quietly. Every fuel stop becomes theater, conversation, and sometimes risk quietly. Visibility changes how an owner moves through ordinary spaces quietly. The car buys attention, then asks for composure in return. Security becomes less dramatic than simply choosing where to stop. Valet convenience carries trust, liability, and quiet anxiety quietly. Urban ownership demands route planning around ramps and surfaces quietly. Low ground clearance makes ordinary streets unexpectedly consequential quietly. Every driveway becomes a negotiation between beauty and geometry quietly. Performance cars turn city infrastructure into a hidden opponent quietly. Track days reveal another economy behind controlled adrenaline quietly. Helmets, tires, brakes, transport, and instruction reshape weekend pleasure quietly. Speed in safe places requires planning, preparation, and replacement quietly. The circuit offers freedom, then sends invoices through rubber quietly. Mileage is memory, but the market often treats it harshly. Driving preserves emotion while reducing certain resale narratives quietly. Keeping it untouched protects value, yet can starve the purpose. Ownership becomes a negotiation between asset and experience quietly. The cabin smells of leather, technology, and careful compromise quietly. Seats built for control may not forgive every journey quietly. Comfort is precise, but never the central promise quietly. Grand touring expectations need a machine designed around intensity quietly. Luggage space reminds owners that drama has practical limits quietly. Weekend escapes require editing, not simply packing with confidence quietly. Luxury sometimes means deciding what cannot come along quietly. The car's shape rewards sacrifice with a stronger arrival quietly. Community becomes another cost, measured in events and expectations quietly. Concours lawns, rallies, and clubs create belonging through participation quietly. Access often requires time, etiquette, and recurring financial readiness quietly. The social world around the car has its own ledger. Heritage adds meaning, yet history also raises standards quietly. Santagata's story turns machinery into cultural responsibility quietly. Owners inherit not only performance, but a demanding mythology quietly. A famous badge can make ordinary neglect feel almost disrespectful. Technology keeps evolving, and yesterday's icon becomes tomorrow's decision quietly. Hybrid successors complicate how collectors view earlier combustion models quietly. Emotion resists change, but markets constantly reinterpret desire quietly. The future costs money before anyone fully understands it quietly. Resale is not an ending, it is a negotiation quietly. Service records become the autobiography serious buyers actually read quietly. A missing document can disturb confidence more than mileage quietly. Paperwork quietly protects value long after polish fades quietly. Photography sells emotion, but inspection decides the final number quietly. Pre-purchase specialists look where admiration refuses to look quietly. Beauty can survive a glance. Ownership must survive evidence quietly. Every bulb becomes part of a larger financial narrative quietly. Accidents are rare moments that can reshape everything afterward quietly. Repairing aluminum, carbon fiber, and paint requires serious expertise quietly. Insurance may cover damage, but history follows the vehicle quietly. Perfection matters because buyers remember what reports remember quietly. The hidden cost of attention is learning to say no. Everyone wants a rev, a photo, or a story quietly. Generosity feels easy until the machine becomes public property quietly. Boundaries become part of preserving both car and owner quietly. Family enthusiasm can meet the practical limits of ownership quietly. Passenger fear, cabin noise, and attention change shared journeys quietly. The dream car sometimes becomes a solitary ritual quietly. Every beautiful machine fits every beautiful life quietly. Weather turns ownership into patience, especially where winters arrive early. Salt, rain, and cold transform roads into preservation decisions quietly. Seasonal storage adds months of cost without movement quietly. Waiting becomes part of ownership's emotional architecture quietly. At night, the car looks calm, almost inexpensive quietly. Only the folder beside it tells the fuller story quietly. Receipts reveal a second vehicle made entirely of obligations quietly. The dream survives because owners accept the hidden arithmetic quietly. Perhaps the price is not the car, but readiness quietly. Readiness means money, patience, discipline, and emotional honesty quietly. The machine rewards devotion. It punishes casual romance quietly. That is why ownership feels both privilege and test quietly. The final bill is never only financial quietly. It counts attention, restraint, time, privacy, and chosen sacrifice quietly. The car remains beautiful because someone keeps paying quietly. Behind every arrival, there is an unseen discipline quietly. Desire becomes mature when it understands maintenance before applause quietly. The real luxury may be accepting the entire burden quietly. Only then does the sound feel honestly earned quietly. At dawn, the same door closes with quieter meaning quietly. What looked effortless was always supported by invisible commitments quietly. Wealth buys the key. Seriousness keeps the car alive quietly. The hidden cost is learning what desire truly requires quietly. In the end, the machine reflects its owner's discipline quietly. Not because it is loud, but because it demands silence. Every gleaming surface remembers choices made away from cameras quietly. The dream endures when admiration finally meets responsibility quietly. Ownership begins as emotion, then continues as disciplined financial choreography. Even the smallest errand carries theater, risk, and calculation quietly. The price tag was only the first visible sentence quietly. A Lamborghini does not forgive neglect dressed as enthusiasm quietly. True access requires more than appetite. It requires stewardship quietly. The fantasy is loud, but responsibility speaks in whispers quietly. And every whisper eventually becomes part of the ownership cost.